Hi, my name is Jessica Edwards. I'm a member of the Enid Junior Welfare League in Enid, Oklahoma, and we are currently trying to acquire these two buildings in downtown Enid. This location is currently Apple Annie's. These buildings are built around the turn of the century, 1910, between 1910 and 1912. And then the old Gary Holt's or Dancer's Nook, also these two buildings together. And what we're trying to do is relocate our return engagement consignment shop to downtown Enid, not only for an enlarged retail space, but also so that Junior Welfare League can participate in downtown events like First Friday. Project, a large goal is to create a unified facade between these two buildings so that it functions as one retail spot. As you can see on the Dancer's Nook building, they have applied a facade over the upper stories. This is actually a 3-story building with windows similar to Apple Annie's on each level. So we would like to eliminate that applied facade and bring it back to a more historical look to how the building was when it was originally built. Also to create, again, that cohesive facade between the two spaces so it looks like it functions as one building. I'd like to take you inside and show you some of our ideas for the remodeling and what we'd like to do to update these two spaces. We are on the ground level of Apple Annie's, which will be our retail space. You can get a really good idea of how it would look like with lots of merchandise and stuff in it. You also note the drop ceiling. As we talk about, we'd like to eliminate this drop ceiling, and there's 10 up above it. There will be holes poked through, doorways, poked through between the two stores so that these ground levels function as one retail location. The slat work that's on the wall, a majority of that will stay. We've purchased it from the current leasee. There's lots of fixed storage that stays in the building that will be very easy for us to merchandise our items for return engagement. There's currently an office down here that could be used by our new manager or by the return engagement staff. Up above is a mezzanine that we could use for cookbook office. This space could be used for cookbook storage, committee meetings, the president's office. It's just an extra level to give us a little bit more space. You can also see that this is the tin ceiling for the ground level of Apple Annie's. And if you'll come over here, there's a drop ceiling. And so our goal would be to raise enough money where we could remove that drop ceiling and bring the entire ground level back to the tin. So this would start our back room for the return engagement back room. So all of what we've seen previously would be the retail space, and then this would be our back room. There is a toilet room already down here that is mostly accessible. There would need to be a few changes. We need to add grab bars and stuff like that, but there's a crawl space underneath, so that will not be an issue. This back room is very compartmentalized. There's lots of little rooms in here. All of that will be demoed to make one big back room, which is what we're used to. So all of this will just be one big back room. We're going to add an overhead door in the back. And so all of our member drop off and pickup for return engagement when people want to consign items will be done in the back off of the alley. Through this space, and again this will all be open, there is an existing freight elevator. So that will help us with our off-season storage. So this will be one big open back room, and where all of our merchandise will come in from the alley. And also there'll be a cased opening between the two buildings back here, so that we will be able to get from this back room and get merchandise over to the Dancer's Nook retail area without disturbing customers and things like that. We are on the second floor of Apple Annie's. This entire space could be our meeting space. It will also serve as off-season storage for return engagement and offices. It has an existing freight elevator that does work. There's a possibility of making this accessible and allowing us to have vertical access to the second floor. It's got lots of windows in it. This roof will need to be replaced, and also all of the windows will need to be replaced in this building. The tin roof or the tin ceiling in here could be refurbished, sanded, and then repainted, but it is throughout this entire level. There will be several holes made in between these two buildings, not only for the back room for storage, but also for meeting, so that we can go in between the two buildings very easily. This is the ground level for the Dancer's Nook. It used to be the old Gary Holt's men's clothing store, if that rings a bell. So we've got a countertop here, an existing countertop. This will be where we poke the holes and have the cased openings between the two retail spaces on the ground level. So that'll all be open into the Apple Annie's place. We'll have one cohesive flooring. All of the walls will be redone, so it'll look like one cohesive retail space. We're going to demolish this little L piece of fixed storage, so that again it just opens up this entire floor for retail. We've got lots of fantastic fixed elements here for clothing and storage. So again, this little part will be gone, and you'll just have storage along that side. You have a couple of dressing rooms in here that are already finished out. This will probably be eliminated also. So again, just one big open space with dressing rooms on that wall, on that end. And then somewhere back here, we will add another wall. And then this will be the back room to this side, and it will attach and connect to the Apple Annie's back room. So this will all be retail, and then this will be our back room. We're going to demolish this wall just so that again it's one big open back room. All of this room will be eliminated. It'll all be opened again. These little departmentalized areas will be opened into one big room. This is the current toilet room, but we're going to add an additional accessible toilet room down here also. These are the stairs. These will be eliminated. So this is the second floor of the Dancer's Nook. Most likely that little partitioned area will have to be eliminated to make room for the larger egress stairs that are wide enough. The fire marshal told us that we needed a wider set of stairs. And again, this room is totally open, just like next door. There will be a couple of cased openings in between, so you can move between the two spaces. And this would just be our off-season storage. So just a storage space. This room does go all the way to the front of the building, and as part of our renovation project, we would like to eliminate that wall, add new windows, and redo the facade of this building.